Hello and welcome back to TechNuovo. My name's Steph and today we are taking a look at South Park Snow Day on the Steam Deck, and I'm going to be running through my settings, albeit basic settings on this game. So without further ado, let's jump in. So this is South Park Snow Day, a charming hack and slash adventure. And as you can see, it actually runs pretty well on the Steam Deck. It is quite graphically intensive at times, and you'll see possibly throughout this video it dropped down to the mid-40s in terms of frame rate, but for the most part I think I've got my graphics settings pretty well set up here, where I am hitting and achieving that 60 to 70 FPS mark. So diving into the options menu, you can see under the video settings my texture detail is set to ultra, my shadow quality is set to medium, volumetric lighting at high, and anti-aliasing is set to ultra. Motion blur is off, VSync is off, but frame rate smoothing is on. Now that smooths out the gameplay between 22 and 62 FPS. Is quite a nice setting to have. Display mode full screen, of course, resolution at 1280 by 720, although I am plugged into a monitor. You will see 1280 by 800 on there. Resolution scale at 100, field of view at 90, and brightness at 33. Now I am admittedly at the pretty much the very beginning of the game. I'm on level 1. I have failed this mission a couple of times already because I'm trying to get used to this combat. I am playing on a games controller, so that's probably it. My ability with a games controller is extremely limited. Although, saving grace, this game is very much a hack and slash adventure, so you're just literally bashing the right trigger to swing my daggers, which is pretty decent at the moment. So generally running around the world, you'll notice that I do hit 60 FPS quite consistently, although depending on what's going on the screen at any one time, especially when I look over and there's wind effects going on, it does drop down to the mid-50s. But overall, I'm happy with that sort of low 60s FPS that I'm currently hitting at the moment. I am going to use my card there, and I am going to throw down some meteors just to see what that does to my frame rate. Not a huge amount. The game is still feeling smooth, although I have dipped now down to the 30s. So there is, at times, the graphics do become a little bit too intensive for the settings I have chosen, but the gameplay is still ever so smooth because of that frame smoothing turned on in the menu. It's definitely helped with those times the frame rate gets a little bit more, or the graphics get a little bit more intensive, and you need to smooth out that frame rate to have a better experience. So it does do really well with that. So I do think that the creators of this game have done a pretty decent job of getting it onto the Steam Deck. It is performing very, very well, I must admit, in terms of graphical settings. However, unfortunately, the game is relatively short, coming in at only around 5 hours worth of gameplay. It's not quite the Stick of Truth or the Fractured But Whole in terms of length of game time, I don't think. I can't remember those games being that short. But it certainly has that South Park charm. So if you are a big fan of South Park, then there's no doubt that you'll probably enjoy this game. It does lack the RPG elements of the older games, the Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole. But in terms of its writing, it does seem to have those South Park quirks. Let's use, as I'm in a bit more of the fray, let's use the Meteor Strike again. Oh, Carmen's here. Oh, Carmen's here, I think, just to do the meteors, I think. So there we go. We are down to early 40s. Late 30s, which isn't a huge issue because the game is still nice and smooth and playable. I'm not noticing any kind of slowdown whatsoever, which is really cool. I'm on fire. I don't know how to extinguish myself. What's hitting me so hard that
This tank could blow. Raining roof. I'm hit.
This game is also a multiplayer game as well. You can join or host, or you can join in a matchmaking other people and play this game. Obviously, you can join friends as well if you've all got the game. But it is certainly a nice feature to have, that you can play this game with up to 3 friends. So there's 4 of you running around at once. So this is the RPG element that I spoke about in the form of cards. I haven't really noticed them do a huge amount in terms of like swaying a fight either way. Let's have that. But yeah, it's a nice feature. It's a nice feature to have. It keeps you hooked. Gives it that kind of dungeon running element. So this has been South Park Snow Day. Let us know in the comments what you think. Thank you very much for checking out this South Park Snow Day video on Steam Deck. If you did enjoy it, then please hit that like button. Subscribe to keep up with our latest Steam Deck videos, and also let us know in the comments down below. Are you going to be picking up this game for your Steam Deck, or have you already got it and are you enjoying it? Let us know in the comments down below. As I say, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.